Hi, Katie. How are you today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. What brings you back in today?
So I had this interaction with my mom the other day, and it kind of brought up a lot of feelings for me. It's gotten better over the years, but I guess just feelings of not being like adult enough, or like she, I guess, respects me as another adult. Um, so I just wanted to kind of talk it out with you, and and see if I could stop feeling so so bad about it.
Okay. Um, can you give me a little bit better of like an example of maybe something that's recently happened?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So my mom has a kind of a habit, I guess, of treating me like, and I don't know if it's because I have younger siblings still at home. So she often will treat me as if I'm still kind of like young and at home. Um, and I guess I really want like that respect or like acknowledgement of the fact that I like have my own house and family at this point. So like what brought it up for me yesterday was I got a new bike. And and when I rode it over to her house, she was asking about the new bike and was like asking how much it costs and just kind of like digging in questions, I guess, of like, well, how did you afford that? And um, I don't know, it just made me feel, and then she tried to give me, her bike instead, which was really generous. But I guess it just made me feel like I just wanted to say, like, I'm an adult who can make decisions.
Mm-hmm. So, if I'm hearing you right, it sounds like you want your mom to validate you as an adult and respect you without making you feel like you're a child still.
Yeah, like questioning kind of like, I guess it's not just the bike. It's like if we go on vacation or, if we do things, my family, my husband and daughter and I, she always kind of like questions where or how we're doing that or why we're um, doing things. And part of me just wants to shout like, because I'm an adult. um, um,
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like you want to be able to tell her how what she says to you, how it makes you feel like a child, um, is maybe making you doubt yourself, which clearly you are an adult and you should be able to make those choices.
you know what, that actually, I think that you're right, that it does. It puts like a little seed of doubt, I guess,
Yeah.
in my head. And maybe that's why I get so, like, maybe that's why I'm so touchy about it.
Hmm. So when these situations occur where she um, kind of questions your judgment, they kind of start to how exactly does that make you feel inside?
Um, I feel like a tension in my chest, and I think that it might be, now that you mention it, it's because I start to question my own judgment. Um, and there's that part of me that wants to be like the adult who's confident in their
Mm-hmm.
um, decisions. So then when I kind of like am asked those questions a lot, like the probing questions from her with like a kind of like a connotation of judgment, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it puts seeds of doubt in my mind, and then I do start to feel like anxious and not as confident in my own decisions.
Okay. So there's the factor of she makes you feel like you doubt yourself, and then also um, you're left feeling unvalidated. So you would like to be able to communicate these feelings to her. Am I hearing you right?
Yeah, I'd like to have kind of a more like equal relationship, I guess.
Okay. So I'm curious if you would feel comfortable with completing two potential exercises that could maybe help you to be able to um, acknowledge what you're feeling inside, and then being able to then hopefully in the end be able to figure out how you'd like to go and talk to your mom about what's happening.
Yeah, I would like that a lot.
Okay, so the two exercises, one is called the empty chair, which
Okay.
if you have an empty chair nearby, I
Yep.
would have you sit in one and you'll kind of switch back and forth. And so the other exercise that we're going to combine with this is called the inner child. And so I think this would help because you can, as a, you're able to talk to your mom and tell her from your inner child what you would like your mom to know, and then um, the other side is you and who you are right now, being able to reassure your inner child that you're being heard,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a try.
Okay.
Uh, so I actually have a chair here, so.
Okay. So whenever you're ready, we also want to try to remain in the here and now. So really kind of focus in on what you're feeling on the inside when you're talking to your inner child, and then doing the reverse. If that
Okay.
does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, I'm really feeling like I'm not heard at the moment. And like my, um, I guess maybe like I'm not respected at the moment by my mom. Um, and I would like to be able to have like a mature conversation with. Should I speak to my mom?
Yeah,
Or
why don't we do this? Why don't we, instead of, let's just, I feel like I maybe made it a little complicated, and I'm sorry about that. Why don't we just focus in on how you now and how you would like to talk to your mom, and then we could practice how you think your mom would respond. Would
okay,
that be easier?
yeah.
Okay, all right.
Um, Hi, mom. I would love it if our relationship um, was more as equals. And if we could be close, but give each other kind of privacy and respect as well.
Good, good. And do you want to switch sides and play your mother's part?
um, I think it's hard for me um, because your siblings are young and still kind of need my full attention, I guess, to make the differentiation maybe between um, your needs and our relationship, and their kind of current needs and the relationship that we have.
Good. Now, what would you like to say back to your mom?
Um, I guess I understand that. Um, and I understand the differences between the three of us and kind of our life stages at the moment. Um, but I guess I would really like you to think of me as um, kind of like more of an individual, I guess, with different needs um, between our relationship, and and I think I like long for you to see me as more of an equal, or maybe really be proud enough of me and my decisions to respect them, I guess.
Good, good. So before we stop this intervention, do you feel like there's something you would like to hear from your mom first?
Yeah, I think that I would like to hear her say that she's proud of me, I guess, and that she um
Sorry, let me stop you right there. Do you want to play that role really quick? And okay,
sure. um I am really proud of you, and proud of the decisions that you make and the kind of person that you have become. And I think that you have worked hard to get there, so I respect them, or respect who you are now.
good, good. Okay, so why don't we just take a minute and I'm curious what feelings that brings up for you. Just that last bit.
The last bit,
Mm-hmm.
I felt kind of like a sense of relief.
Okay.
Like I felt like
Because I know before you
go
said
home.
you mentioned that you were kind of holding it in your chest, that feeling. So I'm curious how that feels now. Is it
I actually like had a noticeable moment, I think, when I switched at the last time to my mom's role, where I felt almost like air just like I don't know, like that tension in my chest just kind of like whooshed out
mm-hmm,
and left.
mm-hmm,
And I could feel my body really settle in a lot more, as opposed to like feeling rigid, I guess, like I had at the beginning.
mm-hmm. Good. That's really good to hear. So I'm curious if you're feeling more calm and at ease right now. Is that right?
Yes.
Um, so do you feel like potentially what would maybe help? Maybe if we practiced one more intervention where you maybe rehearsed now that we're at this kind of more settling state in the present moment to be able to rehearse what you would like to say to your mom next time you see her.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, if you feel like you kind of have an idea of what you would like to say to her now that we finished that last intervention strategy, what would you like to say to her?
So I guess when I think about it, I guess these kind of times come up a lot where any decision that my family makes, um, she jumps in and kind of like questions, or um, just has this like way of passing judgment, or like making her judgment known. So I would really like to like rehearse like something that I could say when that happens, I guess. Um, like something that I could say that comes across as like calm and respectful, but gets kind of the point across.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Absolutely.
so I guess I just imagine her, saying something and me saying something along the lines of mom, it makes me feel really like small and like you don't respect me as a person um, when you act um, like my family isn't capable, I guess, of making decisions for ourselves, or when it feels like our family is not capable of being informed enough, almost, or I don't know. This is hard.
Yeah. So, it sounds like this is really hard for you. And in this present moment, I'm just curious, how do you feel? How are we feeling?
I started to feel kind of the tension again
Okay.
in my chest, almost just imagining, I guess, that situation arising again, and like the anticipation of it, um, and anxiety over trying to find like the right words.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. It sounds like being able to go to your mom and talk about how you feel and how it not only makes you feel, but the reflection on your family also, um, that you hold on to a lot of tension and anxiety around going to her and vocalizing your voice.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate. Um, I think.
So what if we try this? What if we tried like a grounding technique that might actually potentially help when you go to talk to her, when you start to feel those sensations of anxiety or tension. Um, so I, I I just like to take a moment and so realize where you're holding in your body, and if you can kind of point to where you're holding any of those sensations, and maybe just the best you can to describe and point to where those are.
Okay. I feel like some tension here in my chest, um, and almost like a squeezing in my upper arms. Um, I don't know, kind of like, I guess, like someone is not pinching, but like holding them tight.
Okay. Okay. And now that we're noticing these as you would be talking to your mom, and this is kind of how you're feeling in the moment. Um, I would like to see if it's possible. Do you feel like maybe you could look around the room? And sometimes when we look around the room, we're able to see different objects, and they're able to kind of like bring us back down to a more calm level because we're not so tight in the moment. So
Okay.
if you could look around in the room around you and point out something that kind of um, gives you like a release or a calming effect.
Okay. Yeah, right away I noticed, like I have, sorry, buddy. I have like a fish with a plant, and just kind of seeing, uh, the like green for me.
Okay.
Um, I don't know, like it made me smile, I felt,
Hmm.
and I just felt like a little bit calmer, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Okay. So possibly next time you um, decide when you're ready, we can meet again before you actually go to talk to your mom also. Um, but I'm curious if there was a certain environment that you could be in when you talk to her that could maybe make this conversation easier and to keep you in a more calm state. Do you think
Yeah,
that
like
that would help?
yeah, like maybe somewhere like neutral and outside,
Okay.
like where there's more. I don't know. I feel really calm in nature, so maybe just like a park or something nearby.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, I would love to know, how are you feeling right now?
I actually feel a lot, um, like I felt relief after I looked around the room and kind of spotted that, and it has the like tension from my shoulders and tightness in my chest has dissipated quite a bit. So I feel pretty good right now. I
Good.
don't know if I feel ready to have that conversation with my mom, but I feel calmer in the moment.
Okay. Good. I just don't, I don't want to leave you, from our session today feeling anxious or having anxiety. So I'm glad that you are feeling a little more calm now. Um, is there anything in particular before we end today's session that anything else that you feel like you need to talk about?
No, I don't think so today, but I'll definitely try and come up with kind of some conversation points to have with my mom for next time that I chat with you, so that I can be more prepared.
Perfect. That sounds
Thank
great.
you.
Well, thank you so much for coming in today, Katie.
No, thank you. I'll see you
Okay.
next week. Bye.
Okay. Bye bye.